flounder today with Captain Cody Dunn.
Hello, how you doing?
We're going to be looking and taking a look at spoons and talking about fishing with spoons. In particular, we're going to use our spoon of choice, Castmaster, introduced to me by Captain Cody, and I think we've introduced it to a lot of people as well.
Lots.
Just on the videos and talking to people out there on the rocks. So tell us about the spoon, Cody. What do you like about it? What's one of the reasons why you like the spoon?
Well, I think the main reason why I like it so much is it was yesterday evening. I went out to the beachfront and the green water was out 65 yards or something like that. And everybody argues, well, shrimp is better and croaker is better and all that. But you're not going to throw a croaker or a shrimp 65 yards where the green water was at yesterday. So I was hitting it just barely 2 foot past where the green water started. I jigged it a couple times and it was a trout it was a trout every cast for 2 hours. You know, a lot of them was non-keepers. I threw everything back. I didn't keep anything yesterday, but that's the main difference is if you're fishing birds. A lot of times the birds, get out of your range or you're throwing into the wind a lot of the time. And with a regular, jig head and a tail or whatever, you can't throw it but 25 yards in the wind. You get a backlash, you can't make it to the birds. This thing again, into the wind, I can throw it 50 yards, I bet, or 40 yards anyway. It throws so good, and it's got all this flash, and it looks like a bait fish, I think, running through the water, and it's got vibration, and most people just throw it out and reel it in, and I've been really playing with different retrieves on it, and I think that makes a big difference too. Well, I know it makes a big difference because this morning we were fishing, and I was throwing it out, reeling it in, nothing. I throw it out, same spot, next cast, and I jig it, and bam, I'd catch one. So and then the next cast, I throw it straight out and reel it straight in, nothing. Throw it back out and jig it in, and I catch one. So there's a lot, and nobody really does that, I don't think, with these. So I've been really experimenting with it, and it's working. And I'm even throwing them in the bays. I'm catching black drum on them, and I'm croaker, and I hadn't caught a sheephead, I guess.
No.
But I've caught everything on them. I take them offshore, and I catch mahi on them, and our bait, blue runners, and
I saw Eric caught a flounder on it last week.
50 pound cobia on this.
Oh, okay.
Catch blackfin tuna, and it's limitless. It's flashy. It looks like a bait fish. Everything in the ocean eats bait fish. So I guess.
So will you cast and just show me some of the techniques you use?
I'm gonna, on the retrieve I was talking about just a while ago, it's almost like a topwater. So I'm popping the rod a couple times. Braided line. So yeah, it's just like a topwater basically. Jerk it a couple times for about a half a reel. And it takes a while to get the cadence, I guess you call it cadence, to get that down, the timing down of the jerk and the reel and the jerk and the reel. Once you get it down, and it's kind of a slow retrieve really. It's coming in slow when you're doing all the jerking and reeling and stuff.
And then you could fish different water columns with that.
Oh yeah. So that's usually upper water column. So I fish it literally. It looks kind of goofy, but I literally do that, and I've caught some of my bigger trout doing it that fast. It's just going crazy, and you get a reaction.
At the top water column.
Yeah, it's the top water, and I've had trout come out of the water on that, so
just chasing
that's a pretty cool deal. And then it's the typical jigging. So I'll throw it out, I'll count it down, and that's key too, is when I throw it way out there, most of the time I'll count it down about 8 seconds or so before I start jigging. If I want the mid-water column or the lower water column, I'll count it down. Then, you pop it up and let it fall down, pop it up, let it fall down, pop it up, let it fall down. I caught a bunch the other day doing that because it seemed like to me they get tired of the fast jig. They got tired of the same retrieve straight in. So then I'd start popping it, and bam, I'd start catching them again. So it's like they've already seen that, or they hit it, or I hooked them and missed them. So I tried to change that retrieve up quite a bit. So I said you can pop it and just follow it down with your rod tip, pop it, follow it down with your rod tip, pop it, follow it up and down. And it's almost always on the fall is when the trout will hit it. And like I said, I catch it.
So you have to keep when you're letting it fall, keep your hand on the handle and get ready to set the hook.
Yeah. So you have to pop it up, get it down. But the way I catch most of them, hey Roger, the way I catch most of them is this retrieve here, just pop, 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 pop. And I can see it down there. I'm staying just barely under the water doing that. So probably just a foot under the water the whole way in. And the closer you come in, the higher it comes up. It's climbing the water column the whole time when you're you've got your rod tip up like that and jerking, it's climbing your water column coming up. So that's the reason why I started off. I counted down 8 seconds down to the bottom, and then it's climbing coming all the way back up to me. So sometimes in the mid, about halfway to me, if it's a long cast, I'll pause for a second, let it fall back down in the water column, and then bring it back up to me again, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, but and then also, I mean, on one the main things that I recommend too is when you buy these, is we will take off the old split rings. These are like 50-pound split rings made by Spro. Bought them at Serious Tackle over at Texas City. And then this is a 3X hook that I bought. The hooks are kind of cheap on the Castmasters. Hate to say that, love you guys, but the hooks bend out on these saltwater fish. I mean, on a 50-pound cobia, you're not going to get it on a stock hook. So we go back with 3X VMC hooks from Academy. They're pretty strong. They don't bend out like the other hooks do. Sometimes I take the split ring out. I didn't have time to put a new split ring in this one this morning. I broke off quick, so I just retied on it. Seems like it don't really seem like it makes an effect one way or the other. I don't use swivels. A lot of people say you got to use a swivel with the spoon.
I use swivels.
I don't use
and we
swivel.
talked about that this morning.
Yeah, right. The other big spoons that a lot of people argue about, say the crocodile spoons, these outcast them. I mean, they're smaller, it's just as heavy, but smaller diameter. They don't catch the wind as much. So, yeah, the crocodile spoons are awesome. I've thrown them a bunch, but these will outthrow them in the wind. You're always throwing in the south wind on the beachfront. And if you throw something much larger than that in profile, it's going to catch wind. It's not going to, cast as far. So, but, yeah, that's kind of my favorite lure right now. I'm catching a lot of fish on it.
A lot of fish.
Yeah, I mean, I caught 35 fish on it yesterday.
This morning, those guys out there fishing with live bait and dead bait, and we outfished them on the spoon.
Look foolish, really. I didn't see them catch fish.
I didn't see anybody catch fish either.
25 or 30.
Yep.
Of course, they were using steel leaders from Walmart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't catch fish on steel leaders, because I seen a guy catch a 9-pound trout the other day on a steel leader on a part of a croaker.
But he only caught one.
Yeah, he caught one, and I caught 30. So this is something we didn't talk about a while ago, which I guess we probably going to be splicing or whatever. So anyway, our line tie here, like I said, I don't use swivels. I'm not a fan of a swivel, and so I use it. God, sorry, bud. FG knot, which is kind of frayed out a little bit, but that's an FG knot. It goes through your guides super good. I've got micro guides on this. A uni to uni knot won't go through all these micro guides, but the FG knot is amazing. It holds. I use it for tuna. Works great, easy to tie. Once you learn it, it's kind of difficult and kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary at first, but it works great. I don't fish for trout ever without fluorocarbon line. I'm a firm believer. I've caught fish on fluorocarbon before, and just for the heck of it, tied straight to my braided line, and my bite went way more than in half. I mean, I caught way less fish. So I think most everybody knows that. This is a 30-pound fluorocarbon. This is a improved trilene knot that I've got on there. Most of the time I tie a Palomar, but I think that's about everything I was wanting to go over.
What diameter? I mean, not what diameter. What poundage do you use on a
30-pound fluorocarbon, 40-pound braided line.
Look at that. You got a little nick on that.
I'm using the Nomad line. Man, this stuff is awesome. I mean, I threw for 2 hours yesterday and I never got a backlash, not one. And this is the best reel I've ever had, though. It's like 12 ball bearing Abu Garcia, super lightweight, and I've got it adjusted perfect for my throwing style. But I mean, I don't get any backlashes, don't get frays in the line. It's super smooth. It's not, it don't kick up or anything. It's not stiff. I've seen a lot of people kind of talking down about the Nomad line online, but I love it. So
let me ask you this: do you have a certain rod that you like for trout?
Well,
like specs wise,
fish sticks.
Right, fish sticks. But what about the specs? Do you have a specific spec?
Well, you know me, I'm kind of I fish with nothing but stiff rods, and that's a character flaw with me. I can't throw a soft spined rod at all, so I like a really stiff 7-foot for speckled trout. Medium, I can't even do medium heavy. It's almost got to be heavy for me.
Really?
I can chunk it a mile though, so it's just my throwing style. It's the way I am. I like a stout rod. I'm a bass fisherman, it's how I was raised, and that's what I throw. So
you're more comfortable
fish
with
sticks rods, man. I want to put that in there. The Hunter is awesome. He builds a great rod, and they're one of the most sensitive and one of the lightweight. I mean, this whole setup, I don't think I don't know, the reel is 4.2 ounces, and I bet the rod's probably 4 ounces too. So it's an 8-ounce setup. It's amazing on the as far as arm fatigue goes when you're trying to cast long distance like we do when we're in the surf. But
and the fishing with a spoon requires a lot of casting.
Lots of casting, lots of long casting. You know, so.
I mean, a lot of casting with any lure, but especially when you're trying to get that extra distance.
I've talked about all the good stuff about Castmaster. The one bad thing about it is, is the hooks and stuff, but you lose a lot of fish with them too. When you're pulling them on the rocks, the trout have that super soft mouth, and man, the weight of this lure when you're reeling it in, and especially it's a long throw, so you're fighting it forever before you can get to the rocks, and it does tear a pretty good hole in their mouth. And when you try to flip it up, I lose some pretty good trout in the rocks, So we really need to get us a long-handled net. We need to start taking one of them with us, and that would probably solve that problem. But
I'll use it if you bring it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I'm the one be netting your fish. You catch so much.
Like I said, everybody's been asking about Castmaster, so we thought we'd do a little Castmaster video.
Yeah,
love them, man. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, look at my reel. I mean, if this don't tell you I've been catching trout. I mean, look at it. It's got.
You probably wiped a lot off right here.
Yeah. I've been rubbing on it. It's got snowflakes all over it, man. It's just scales everywhere you look on it.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it. I appreciate Cody taking time out. Busy day of work today. We've been all over the place this morning.
We've been all over the place.
Yeah, we have been all over the place.
We might do, how to throw a cast net video.
Yeah, we might throw something else in here today.
We have a lot of mullet out right now, so maybe we'll do that in a little bit.
Yeah. But hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget, follow Captain Cody Dunn. We're at beautiful Sea Star Base Galveston. Check it out, Sea Star Base online, a non-profit organization. If you want to fish with this man, hit him up. All his information will be below. Guided trips out of Sea Star Base. I know they do sailing. They do a lot of stuff with the kids here as well.
And also, we're selling saltwater sole in our store now, and we're going to be selling fishing license. So Academy, Walmart, and only Sea Star Base Galveston sells fishing license now also. So
if you're coming in from the island, you exit 71st Street, B1. I think it's 1B.
Yeah.
1B.
Either exit makes it here though.
And you'll be right here. So,
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow Captain Cody, and share.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.